Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So did you guys see this? Binance's XRP holdings have actually spiked. This coming from XRP Crypto Wolf here. Sounds like they are getting ready for what is coming next. They are the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, and they've released their freshly printed Proof of Reserves report, guys, which does show the ratio between customers' net balances and the exchanges. One of the highlights is the performance of XRP reserves on Binance, as they have suddenly seen a notable increase. Let's take a look at this report here. These are the most up-to-date numbers that Binance has on, a lot of their cryptocurrencies. The main ones that they hold here, obviously, Bitcoin, USDT, which is at 111%. That is not the largest, but it is certainly up there in terms of ratio. And USDC, the other stablecoin there, very high as well at 137.17%. Guys, XRP is at 100.66. So this demonstrates that this particular cryptocurrency exchange is very liquid with the cryptocurrencies that they are realizing will be, traded probably the most in terms of volume. The cumulative net balance of Binance customers in XRP has increased by 6% or 165.3 million XRP and reached a total of 2.92 million XRP. Binance on its behalf increased its net balance to match the increasing balance of its customers, and it can be said that over 330 million XRP, which is equivalent to about $175 million in current prices, were added to the net balances. So getting ready for this bull run, guys. Here is the report. I will link it in the description of this video for you. This bull run is going to get started. We're just waiting for Bitcoin to take off. Yesterday, we were trading at 62,400 per coin. And now, it hasn't really changed too much. We're down by a little bit, just a smidge here, 62,000, pretty much 62.1. Still need to get up above this level here, 66,004, which we saw back on Friday, September the 27th, in order to confirm the bullish momentum to the upside. Guys, you can see sentiment in neutral territory. Market cap is down a little bit, only by 0.28%. Not a lot of trading volume right now. We're seeing that even decreasing too by 16.09%. Bitcoin dominance, 56.7, getting close to 57%. That is still meandering to the upside. 24-hour volume for many of these cryptocurrencies remaining relatively flat. You can see here XRP is only up by 0.31% in the last 24 hours. But most of the cryptocurrencies, most of these altcoins are very flat. So not a lot of trading going on right now. The Bitcoin activity does need to resume before we start to see this market rocking and rolling. However, in the United States, the SEC, it seems like the SEC is trying to do everything to tamp this market down to, really kind of limit our trading abilities. In the past, it has been, as they dub the Wild West. And now that Crypto.com has received a Wells notice, I think this also is sending us a message. Crypto.com is pushing back, though, filing a lawsuit accusing the SEC of overstepping by labeling most crypto transactions as securities without clear rulemaking. This coming from Jungle Inc. here. After receiving the Wells notice, the platform is fighting to protect the future of crypto in the U.S. They've also petitioned both the CFTC and the SEC for joint clarity on crypto derivatives regulation. So we're already getting into this notion that crypto derivatives are going to be, likely be traded. They're going to be traded at some point, but they're even delving into crypto derivatives as part of this dispute. Despite the legal battle, though, Crypto.com remains committed to compliance, holding over 100 global approvals. Operations remain uninterrupted as this fight does continue. So even met a lawman here commenting, today Crypto.com preemptively sued the SEC in Texas in response to their Wells notice. And you guys can see here, I do have the Wells notice up here. I will link it in the description if you choose to peruse it at your leisure. Targeted network tokens, if you do look down here, though, are Solana, ADA, BNB Coin, Filecoin, Flow, ICP, Atom, ALGO, Near, and Dash. So those are the ones that have been targeted. Sounds like a similar list to what the SEC was doing with Coinbase there. Anyway, you wouldn't want the same thing to happen to one of your tokens as did XRP in the last bull run. Guys, if you want to see what my strategy is this time around, because I've diversified my cryptocurrencies, there still is a lot of time to diversify. The market is still retracing. You can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. There, I'm outlining my approach, okay? This particular bull run is looking differently to me, and I'm going to be sharing my strategies with my Patreon subscribers. It is only $5 a month. I think it's pretty good value for what you guys are getting there. So that, again, is patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I think in many ways, other than if you were an XRP trader, this bull run, to navigate this particular bull run could be a little more complicated just because we do have more regulation coming down the pike. So Crypto.com has filed this suit against the SEC. What is this going to mean now? Because this is a pretty big cryptocurrency exchange. They filed a lawsuit against the SEC after receiving a Wells notice indicating the regulator's intentions to sue the digital asset exchange. The lawsuit contends that the regulator has unilaterally expanded its jurisdiction beyond statutory limits, and separately, that the SEC has established an unlawful rule that trades in nearly all crypto assets are securities transactions, no matter how they are sold. So that is the claim they're making here. The SEC does not comment on the existence or non-existence of a possible investigation. The notice represents the latest in a string of enforcement actions brought by the SEC against the crypto industry in recent years. Companies including Kraken, Coinbase, Consensus, and Uniswap have all been targets of such a Wells notice. And now Crypto.com is the latest in this saga. But it's not just the cryptocurrencies. As I mentioned before, it is the derivatives unit. So Crypto.com's North American derivatives unit also filed a petition with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission and the SEC seeking to confirm by joint interpretation that certain crypto derivatives products are solely regulated by the CFTC. And I mean, to get this clarity for these crypto-related derivative products, I think is going to be the future. Well, it definitely is going to be for institutional investors. They are going to want to, put money into invest into something that is into something that they know is secure, something that traditionally they can rely on. And if they're going with a company that offers these, a company that they trust that offers these types of crypto-related products, this is likely where we're going to see a lot of that institutional inflow. Anders here bringing this up. Okay, a tweet from Jake Chervinsky. The assumption was that the SEC won't approve new crypto ETFs since it won't recognize any other asset other than Bitcoin and Ethereum. But guys, apparently now it's saying that no assets are securities. They can just be offered and sold as such. And guys, this is why we're seeing another XRP ETF filing. This video clip was taken from a few weeks ago when we heard about the Bitwise ETF. But guys, I think we are going to start to see an onslaught of these XRP ETFs, not to mention that some of the other cryptocurrencies as well. Listen to this.
We've already got ETFs for Ethereum. It makes sense that regulators would approve other large coins as well, right?
No, we don't know that, especially because this is the 7th largest coin. There's a Solana filing, and then it was pulled out, and we have Bloomberg Intelligence, James Seyfarth, saying it was dead on arrival because the SEC is still really kind of against this. They're kind of skeptical, and actually this filing comes against the backdrop of two things. Number one, it comes after a judge ordered Ripple to pay $125 million after improperly selling their tokens as a fraction of the $2 billion SEC wanted. And number two, it comes against the U.S. presidential elections just a month away. And we know that the Republicans are viewed as more friendly towards crypto. So we also have people saying issuers will follow suit if the Republican president becomes the president.
Do people want this? Is this the type of thing that people are clamoring for the way they were clamoring for Bitcoin ETFs?
It's never going to be the same degree because the Bitcoin ETFs are really just a field of its own. I mean, even with flows, we have 18 billion in that. Ether is not even seeing inflows, it's net outflows. But still, you can't deny that ETFs are easy to trade. I mean, it's the 7th largest token. We have a Solana filing. You know what the 8th largest token is?
What is it?
Dogecoin.
Of course.
So that can be the next. I don't know.
So
but
is there a Doge filing for an
Not
ETF?
yet.
Not yet.
I'm going to have to write that up if it happens. But who knows? We have Elon Musk still a big proponent of Dogecoin. But it really just shows how issuers are testing this ETF wrapper. I mean, basically anything could be ETF, even private markets. That's not approved yet, but people are really trying out. And you could see here that they're pushing the limits of the SEC.
Well, and it would make sense as well to be able to diversify crypto, a broader crypto ETF, right? One that could hold Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana and Dogecoin and also Ripple.
There is that. You can diversify. I mean, for now, Bitcoin, the oldest and the most mature. When the conflict in Iran blew up, it was muted. So where's the hedge that people were looking for? So I think this is really, in a sense, space. Even the oldest coin is still not behaving as the way that proponents want it to behave.
Well,
so
that's arguable, right? Because when we went into the pandemic and the government started spending like a drunken sailor, the value of Bitcoin went up. I would say that's because people were worried about inflation.
Okay, fair. But the fact that it doesn't have a solid narrative
True.
is indicative of like how new it is.
Okay, very briefly, we're speaking of Bitcoin, the Bitcoin ETFs. You mentioned flows. Just give us an update a few months on how they're doing and what you're seeing.
It's great. We're seeing a net inflow of 18 billion. They've broken record after record. But I think the important thing is how Ether is not seeing that. So Bitcoin could be a one and done game, and you can't assume the same for other coins.
It's quite an interesting perspective, actually, the fact that Ethereum inflows, we're not seeing the same kind of inflows for Ethereum as we are for Bitcoin, even several months later. Now, they're talking about the XRP ETF. That was before Canary Capital filed their S1, which I had mentioned, by the way, 5 days ago. I don't know why. I don't know why this is making waves now. Nevertheless, people are picking up on this. Okay, could we see this onslaught? Canary Capital now being the second. Hot on the heels of Bitwise, Canary Capital has now filed an XRP ETF. So that is now confirmed. You guys can see the Cointelegraph did enclose the official filing down here. In an October 8th filing with the SEC, Canary Capital said its ETF would give investors access to the XRP market through a traditional brokerage account without the potential barriers to entry or risk involved with acquiring and holding XRP directly. So you see how they're marketing this product already, and you see how they're pitching it to the SEC. The fact that, oh, look, this is a safe way to be able to hold XRP. So our clients aren't going to be I guess they're not going to be exposed to all the volatility and dangers of holding it, I guess, natively. I don't know why they would think that is, well, anyway. Canary Capital, here's a quote. Canary Capital believes that the design of the trust will enable certain investors to more effectively and efficiently implement strategic and tactical asset allocation strategies that use XRP by investing in the shares rather than purchasing, holding, and trading XRP directly. It kind of goes back to this video here. When they're talking about baskets of ETFs, diversifying into different types of cryptocurrencies, I feel like that is more what investors would want to have rather than just kind of being exposed to one cryptocurrency directly. Then you have to decide which one to pick. But when it comes to an ETF, obviously these cryptocurrencies have already been vetted. Going back to this clip, she said Solana was dead on arrival. They haven't heard of a Dogecoin ETF yet, but they were kind of snickering about that, thinking how ridiculous that would be. So, guys, I think it speaks volumes. The fact that XRP, now we have 2 confirmed filings for an XRP ETF. This could just be the beginning. Institutions want to be exposed to the potential liquidity XRP has to offer, because once you really do understand how this cryptocurrency is going to be transformative for this new financial framework, one I think would get really excited. If they did understand it to the extent that we understand it, I feel like even institutions at this point, they might get maybe 10% of why XRP is a good investment. But unless you're following all the partnerships, all the connections here, you're really not seeing the full picture. Well, guys, Finastra, a big Ripple partner, one of the big 3, has been chosen by Tonic to extend their core banking infrastructure. Finastra has recently announced a new deal with Tonic, renewing its partnership to power Tonic's end-to-end core banking capabilities with Finastra Essence. As part of the renewal, Finastra will strengthen the partnership with the deployment and dedicated consultants to help accelerate Tonic's development and launching of new products and services. And here's a quote, guys. From the start, Essence's open architecture and sophisticated functionality has given us the flexibility to build the right technology stacks for our needs, whether that was launching the bank on time and on budget or fueling our rapid growth, and the agility to develop revolutionary new products and bring them to market quickly. This has been key to our success, helping us reach 1 million customers in less than 3 years. And with new dedicated resources from Finastra, we will be able to accelerate innovation even further. So positive partnership here. Tonic extending core banking with one of these large Ripple partners, Finastra, to extend their digital footprint abroad. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Tonic is a company from the Philippines. I guess I could look that up real quickly here. Yeah, Pasig, Philippines is where it's headquartered, founded in March of 2021. So a Ripple customer. Great news that they are partnering with Finastra. Guys, I also happen to see this from Juniper Research. The Platinum Prize for Best Cross-Border Payment Platform goes to, yes, you betcha, none other than Ripple. If you scroll down here, they're 2024 winners. And when you go to payment innovation, you can scroll down here and you can see here, platinum winner. One of the platinum winners here is Ripple. Best cross-border payment platform is the subsection there. So they did win an award with many other companies here, some heavy hitters in the space. But guys, it does go to show you this is technology that is cutting edge. It just needs to be implemented at scale to really kind of prove its purpose. And as we're seeing the landscape grow, that is just becoming more and more of a reality. Archax, remember Archax? They're partnered with Ripple too. They want to tokenize between $30 and $50 trillion on the XRP Ledger through their company security? Well, they have just partnered with Etc. to offer tokenized real-world assets in the UK and Europe. Etc. and Archax are collaborating to provide investors with regulated access to tokenized funds, including real-world and digital assets. Down here it says a strategic partnership between the digital security company and the Financial Conduct Authority regulated digital securities exchange Archax will allow investors to access tokenized real-world assets in the UK, Europe, and the European Economic Area, so the EEA as well. The Archax Etc. partnership aims to address several challenges within the tokenized real-world asset market, including regulatory uncertainty, limited liquidity, and technological complexities. So this is, pretty big news for XRP Ledger fans, hoping that we are going to start to see real-world tokenized assets being transferred in a meaningful way over the XRP Ledger. The Etc. platform will initially provide tokenized assets to money market funds from a company called Aberdeen, which manages £506 billion. Okay, that is roughly $662.4 billion in assets. Funds from other asset managers are expected to flow shortly. So here's a quote. The collaboration sets a new benchmark for this digital asset distribution in the European zone, the EU, and the EEA, integrating Archax's regulated digital infrastructure with Etc.'s regulated decentralized financial market, further advancing the adoption of tokenized assets in Europe. So it's great to see this, considering now the MiCA regulations have come into place, to see now them step into, they're not waiting at this point. Everybody's just been, waiting with bated breath, waiting for these regulations to take place. And now that they're here, it sounds as though all these companies are just going to jump in. And look at down here, they're saying that this is going to be catering to Europe's long-term liquidity demand, because the liquidity is needed. And the thing is, there's always been this issue with liquidity. And before cryptocurrencies and DLT technologies and blockchain and all that, it was, a lot of these processes were done in a way that was manual, where liquidity, you'd usually find a crunch, and you'd usually, need to source liquidity from somewhere else, and it would take days. But guys, now with digital assets, markets are going to be more efficient. And this is going to expand businesses, which will, in turn, I think, help develop markets even further. And thus, it'll be a circular thing, right? If markets work more efficiently, we're going to start to see more money flow into these markets. So opportunity for tokenized assets span traditional financial markets, real estate, commodities, art, intellectual property, and cash and deposits. While discussing ways to effectively meet Europe's increasing liquidity demands, the Etc. spokesperson emphasized prioritizing distribution in the early stages of tokenized security space for long-term success. And here's a quote. Proper distribution ensures that the assets are accessible, compliant, and known to a large enough audience, setting the stage for a liquid market to emerge. So notice, guys, they're already talking about financial markets, real estate, commodities, art, intellectual property, cash, and deposits. So this goes way beyond, cross-border payments. Of course, we're dealing with real-world assets here. Archax, a Ripple partner, as part of this, along with Etc. So great new partnership here. This is really exciting. I got to say, as we start to see more liquidity build on the XRP Ledger, moving from centralized exchanges, because don't forget, guys, a lot of this XRP price, this speculation for XRP price is based on, what we are trading right now on a centralized exchange, okay? And it's not getting, it's only liquid when it is. It's only liquid when the market pumps. But, for 3 out of the 4 years, we generally just kind of trade like this, right? Just with low volume, right? Low volume down here, trading in a very narrow range, not seeing any kind of, meaningful movement, just kind of going up and down and up and down. But it's going to be when XRP gets off the exchange and into a real world setting, that is when we're going to see this thing fly. Now, speaking of which, XRP drops, bringing this to our attention. This was a presentation by Ripple partner Moani Finance. Okay, these guys developed the XRP Ledger. Listen to what this guy had to say here about the XRP Ledger and how this development is going to bring XRP off exchanges into the real world. Listen to this.
These limitations are being lifted by many amendments and updates coming up. So, first of all, there will be an EVM programmability on top of XRP Ledger, bringing vast amount of EVM builders and EVM assets on top of XRP Ledger. And we can see that Aurora of Near Protocol or Neon EVM of Solana, Movement Labs of Aptos and Sui all had the same steps, and they successfully brought many user bases and assets to their own ecosystem. And we believe EVM sidechain will do the same for the XRP Ledger. And also, as Aaron spoke before, there are many sidechains building on top of XRP Ledger as a relation of Ethereum and layer 2s around it. So the Futurebus is one of the great examples that has a specific domain. Futurebus is an open metabus platform that builds on top of XRP as a gas fee, and they operate with the generative AI that is really scalable to build the open metabus platform. And lastly, Y Finance also rely on this native AMM. XRP Ledger now supports the native AMM feature, which will bring more native yield features, and we believe those native yield will bring more on-chain actions. And also, in terms of XRP, more XRP will be moving from the CE axis to the on-chain assets.
Right.
And not to mention, Ripple is launching its own stablecoin, ULUSD, on top of XRP Ledger and Ethereum. And also, Ripple, I know that there are many builders in this event today. Ripple has a great amount of grant program for the talented projects. Y Finance is one of this proud grantee of the XRP grants, and if you're interested, you should definitely check this out.
So a lot of great information from this clip, but I do want to reiterate one point here.
More XRP will be moving from the CE axis to the on-chain assets.
So we are going to see XRP moving from the centralized exchanges, guys, getting off these centralized exchanges, moving to real-world asset tokenization platforms. And this, guys, this is when we're going to see higher demand for XRP, at least in theory. So buckle up and get ready, because this crypto space is going to look very different, I think, by 2025. That is just my opinion. And again, guys, if you're interested in following when I'm trading this bull run, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. It is only $5 a month. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.